as America learns more about Arizona shooter Jared Lee Lehner. The tragedy has set off a bombardment of media finger-pointing. In editorials and comments across the nation, many news organizations see Saturday's shooting as an inevitable byproduct of fiery political rhetoric, putting both media and political organizations on the defensive. Joining me now is the FT's media editor, Andrew Edgecliffe-Johnson. Andrew, is this just the inevitable byproduct of a tragedy, or has the U.S. media come to a day of reckoning?
In many ways, it's quite a strange reaction because there's no direct evidence of a connection between the alleged shooter in this incident and the news media that's now come in for a lot of attack in the last few days. Now, at the same time, these tragedies do tend to bring out what's on the mind of society when they happen. We've seen it before when people questioned whether previous shootings were triggered by violent video games, violent movies, violent music lyrics. And so there is some history, some pattern here.
But at the same time, this link didn't necessarily originate with the media.
No, it came about first from the sheriff of Pima County in Arizona very soon after the shootings on Saturday afternoon, who raised this issue of what he called the vitriolic tenor of debate in politics and in media.
When you look at unbalanced people, how they respond to the vitriol that comes out of certain mouths about tearing down the government, the anger, the hatred, the bigotry that goes on in this country is getting to be outrageous.
Now, as this fight kind of seems to be reaching a crescendo, or the blame game increases in volume, some have pledged to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, we've had pledges from various ends of the spectrum, the political spectrum in media. Quite quickly, Keith Olbermann at MSNBC, who's identified as a liberal commentator, said that he would drop the gun rhetoric. Last night, Bill O'Reilly on Fox News, identified as one of the key conservative commentators, said this showed there were lines that shouldn't be crossed. At the same time, there was also a very strong reaction, particularly in the conservative media, accusing the liberal media of exploiting this incident to try and shut them down.
Do you think this mood of self-examination and pledges of moderation will last?
If you look at the longer history here, there have been spikes of vituperative comment in American media going all the way back to the American Revolution. So this is not a new phenomenon. It will probably be with us in years to come. And historically, they've spiked around periods of economic or social uncertainty. And so I think, first of all, we're unlikely to see big change before the economy revives. Secondly, as traditional news models, broadcast news audiences wilt and newspapers lose audiences, lose readers and advertisers, one of the few parts of news media which is doing well are the more partisan cable channels and the more partisan cable talk radio shows. And so I think as long as there's a profitable business model there, people are going to be very reluctant to give that up.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.